That's right. It's after 8 hours.
It is.
With illustrious host, JackJack1620.
Hi.
And squeaky clean manservant, JayTI7N. That's me. What's good?
Not too much, man. It's October. It is just, we are on All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows
recording
Eve.
this. The weather in Colorado has been awfully cool and lovely,
Yep.
with the exception of that random ass rain we got. Because I didn't like breaking the frost off my car to try to open up my
I
door.
was going to say, I was out of town for that, but the rain was nice.
Yeah, and I love the fall colors. Like, I went out for a walk during work today, and it was really nice just to see all the colors changing. I was sad I wasn't able to bring in some of my plants before the frost shock got to them, so they're gone. I buried a lot of the plants at my garden box at work. It was sad. But no, I'm excited. Again, there's been some awesome developments. Like, obviously, the game, we've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah.
We had the level rebalancing, which is interesting. The grind to level 80 has been interesting to watch. And I love seeing the Facebook and social media comments, because there are some people who are at level 80 right now. And the purists and the ones being like, the need to play legit is so high, and people impressing upon others how they play is really interesting to see.
Yeah.
And we've always talked about that since the very beginning, before
The before
Campfire,
times.
before many things. And
When everything was still very...
we called it moral flexibility that a lot of people had. And those topics are coming back up again, and I think they're interesting to see.
It is, and some of that is still with the shift to Scopely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's still Niantic or whatever under Scopely, but still. But that's a big part why you're seeing a lot of these changes and a lot of these additions to the game.
Oh, yeah. Except Mimikyu.
Oh, well,
Where is Mimikyu?
It's been 9 years
Bring
since
the
the game
boy
came out. Next
out.
year will be the 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
Hopefully that's enough to give us Mimikyu.
Well,
But anyway.
it's also so we've had that. We've had community days. We're right now in the second part of the Halloween event.
Correct.
Which, again, there's been tons of pumpkaboos, and I'm never mad about pumpkaboos. To me, if you're on the quest of level 80, pumpkaboo should be one of them, because you could lucky trade it, free to evolve, and you're getting nothing but candy and XL candies.
Yeah.
Pumpkaboo should be one of them, because that's one of the easiest to max out. Also, I love that I guess they're focusing on the green theme of all the shinies. So Teddy Ursa, Rowlet, and a few others. I think that's all fine and dandy. Again, I am sad that there's no Mimikyu. I am sad that some of our old costume boys aren't here, like the original Kanto starters. I love those little costumes.
Right.
What else do we have? Well, in the greater Pokemon realm, we had the release of Pokemon ZA.
Yep. Legends ZA came out.
Yeah, which has been...
I
have not done shit. Everyone else has been accelerating through, and I've been taking my sweet time.
I've been...
I still have a Bayleaf, which is impressive for me
cute.
by this time.
I don't know, so we have one Switch 2.
Okay.
But we're running two different games off the same one.
Oh.
So it's essentially because it's just based off your profile.
Yeah.
So Carla's got one playthrough and I've got my own playthrough. And so I help her out in some of the more tedious tasks like grinding and things like that, just because prolonged play time hurts her hands more than anything. So I'm I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, you're fluky.
So I have a bunch of fun with that. So with her profile, we've been doing all the exploration and playing through the game. We're still not where everyone else is either.
There's people who got through the range tower missions, and I'm man,
been taking our time with it. But everything she does is okay, and then I go back to my profile on my own time.
Yeah.
And I'll catch up. So that's essentially what I've been doing. I've been playing it twice, more or less. But it's kind of fun because she has her own team and things that she wants to do with her team, and I have a completely different idea of how I want my team to be. And
I have no idea who I even want as my team.
I have a blast with it. It's been fun, and I'm excited to see when that stuff comes to Pokemon Go.
Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to help people out. Since everything's been happening, I think there's been a big talk about what is the future of Pokemon Go. And obviously with it, I'm expecting to see the whole shift to Scopely in 2026. That was my prediction. Mm-hmm. And I'm expecting that. I kind of took like the max finale that they had with Eternatus as kind of like that was a large way to like kind of fill their pockets before the shift.
Oh, for sure.
But going forward, I'm like, is Scopely going to care so much about the AR features? Like I like thinking about it. I wanted to put it on our Discord about extinct Pokemon Go features that we used to have that are no longer existing.
Okay.
So things like I remember the day one stuff that we had of the map that showed you where you caught your Pokemon.
Yeah.
How that's gone now. Mm-hmm. I miss how the nearby feature actually showed you Pokemon that were supposed to be within a certain distance from you.
Yeah.
At least that was our bro science. You're like, oh, this Charmander has 3 little footprints. That must be like 300 feet in a relative direction. And it was usually pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And that's how we initially were finding Pokemon. I liked that feature because it felt more habitat based, very similar to Pokedex, where it would show you these are where the Pokemon exist.
Yeah.
And I think we had hopes in that first month of like, well, I caught this Pokemon here. Maybe it'll be there again, like in Pokemon the game.
Uh-huh.
What other features? There was also, we had a lot more raid eggs. Those have kind of come and go. So we have now, we used to have like, I felt like we had raid 2 through 5. Like,
yeah,
there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And then it became 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
And so having those middle eggs was nice, but at the same time, I don't think they got a lot of love. Hopefully they're not completely gone. We had the elite raids, which is something I want them to bring back because for the simple fact, I think it encouraged people to actually raid everywhere that were considered EX gyms.
Yeah.
And for folks that don't know what EX is, that's elite. Like, it was the shorthand for elite.
Yeah.
They were specific gyms, like pretty much the popular gyms in the area. Not every popular gym was an EX gym, but every EX gym was a popular one.
Correct.
Like, as weird as that sounds. But it was nice to get that special, unique invite. And now with the dawn of raid passes and remote raid passes, I think they could easily bring something like that back to where they're not just looking at you doing the raid hour events, but they would be looking at like just your everyday play. Mm-hmm. Because some of the raid invites you'd get from the elite raids were for like 1-star raids you might have done. You just happened to get it at the right time when they were logging information. It was like, you, the chosen one, are able to come do this Mewtwo raid. And it was really awesome because that's where I think you drew out the true players.
Yeah, well,
they weren't just like fair weather players who you'd see there. They'd be the ones who like, I know this person gyms and this person does raids because you'd see only those people at those events.
I like the EX raid system when they had them. And because like, if you guys don't know, they stopped EX raids before the pandemic.
Yeah.
2020, right when the pandemic, and then they replaced them with elite raids. But the elite raids, we haven't had one in a hot minute. But the EX raids were basically you'd have to go to an EX gym sometime in that week. Mm-hmm. You would do a battle there, a raid battle there with your community. It was fun seeing other people like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then if you were lucky, you'd get an invite for a special raid, an EX raid, later on at that EX gym, and you'd be able to schedule it and see everybody. So there's a level of
sorry for my dying.
Inclusivity and exclusivity there. That was pretty fun. Also made it like a good opportunity for community aspect because it's like, hey, I did this EX raid with these 3 people. We got the invite, but then a whole different crew got the same invite. So you're like, now you're mingling. You're actually doing inter-community things.
Exactly.
And then usually the prizes were great, like Mewtwo. That was the only way to get Mewtwo for a bit.
Yes.
Things like that. Now, so I did like that system, but yeah, we don't have it anymore. Yeah, and that kind of sucks.
And I want them to bring back EX raids and EX gyms and all that, and especially getting the passes because that felt cool. Like Willy Wonka golden ticket level status.
Because it wasn't guaranteed.
It wasn't.
Like we raided at the same gym. I got the EX invite.
Yeah,
I didn't. Sorry.
And it'd be sad, but I'd be like, but you like people would still come along. Like I still want to go and see it, and then that's where you'd see again. To me, the folks that really raided. And I think with the whole dawn of level 80, my personal take on it was I feel like the level cap, the XP cap could have been higher.
Okay.
I'm sure their calculations are based on like regular player usage. That's why I'm not super mad at it. There's a lot of players, and again, I think they're like the 1% that are like, well, I've seen people that had like 1 billion XP, and I'm like
a Brandon Tan or something.
How? Well, no, I've seen a local player with that, and I was just like,
it's a lot.
I don't know how local you are, like, and I'll keep that as I said it, but I was impressed. And then now I'm seeing like everyone else's stuff, and there's a few players who I never even expected to be even in those tiers.
Right.
But there's some folks now who it brings up the ethics of the game and the terms of service.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people who have been posting about how upset they are that these other players are doing it. And at the end of the day, why does that matter to you? I don't know. If you're playing it a certain way, their level doesn't change your enjoyment of the game. And if it does, I feel bad for you as a player, because
I would just say
seeing someone, like, it just reminds me of that Subway metaphor. Seeing someone get a different Subway sandwich, different than what I'd want, and that somehow impacts my enjoyment of my sandwich is wild to me.
Damn, your sandwich sucks now.
Yeah, now my sandwich sucks. And I'm like, man, their sandwich is so good. Could I do the same thing? Yes, but my morals say no, and that makes... Maybe my morals add more flavor. I don't know. But like, that's how I always view it in that realm. And that's with life in general. Like when people get mad at someone else for doing something differently.
Oh, for sure.
I don't get mad at that because they did a whole different track than me. Why am I mad at that? And it doesn't take away from my play. It doesn't change. It does nothing for my gameplay at all.
I would say, and Carla could speak to the psychology of it more than I could. But the top two things you kind of touched on there are, one, envy. Envy's huge. They're envious that, hey, this person is playing the game completely different than I am, to a point where I clearly am at a disadvantage because I'm not at that level or whatever it is. And now they're bragging about it and they're rubbing my face in it or something like that. They take it personal.
Yeah.
And you know this or never. I love my mom, but she takes everything way too personal. Like everything. She's literally like, it's kind of like Drax from...
just very
Guardians
literal.
of the Galaxy. Everything's too literal and too personal. So I'll use a metaphor, and she'll be like, "Well, that never happened to me," and I'm like, "It's a metaphor.
Metaphors
has nothing to do with anything we're doing. This happened to soldiers in the Roman Empire. I'm talking about something completely different." But anyway,
but I was in Rome.
So that was. She's like,
I was there.
I was there.
In the trenches. Like how?
But so that's number one. Then number two is especially. Now, unfortunately, when we're seeing, it feels like our country's more divided than ever in a lot of different ways.
Oh,
when
I think it's more publicly displayed. I felt it's been this way for
that's I guess
many.
That's what I'm getting at is like the public display of it is becoming a lot more rampant. In which case, people are also more rampant to try to take their moral high grounds or things like that. Yeah. So it's like when the morality and the envy start to mingle in that regard.
They make a dumb butterfly.
Dumbass butterfly. Is this a butter? Anyway, it makes for a terrible mix, and that's why you get to see more people outspoken about. Oh well, they're not doing it the quote right way, even though Niantic or Pokemon in general has always been played in however many ways you want.
Yeah. Yes,
there is a top tier meta for whatever. I don't have to use that. I'm going to use my big dumb Pokemon. I don't care. That's how I like to roll. And that applies to just about anything.
Well, and we were talking about that yesterday at the Garatina raid hour after we concluded. And we were talking about it. And player, his name is Invader Squirrel, and I love his player name.
It's a pretty great name.
He's talking about how he was rewatching some of the old shows. And I think he had referenced the Eevee episode and how the player's like, yeah, look how awesome this is. And look at this. And Ash was kind of like, that's not what Pokemon's about. Like, you should be a companion with your Pokemon and like believe in that and like trying to like better yourself, not like this clout chasing.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, like I never sought clout, still don't really care for it too much. And that's why like I'll talk about like influencer styles, because some influencers, that is a component of their style or an element of their content is needing to chase notoriety.
Correct.
And to me, if you're doing good things, then continue to do good things. You don't need to put it up or post it. Just like whenever we do our community work, we'll just like, put this out there, support. and then whatever donation we get that we support, and then we just go on. We're not like, look how much, look at all, like, because that
we're not
I always took it that takes away from the act.
I agree
of it, and I think there's a humbleness that is, I think should be. I take more pride in that humbleness than anything. That like, I don't need to boast about like my contributions, but I know I helped out.
I agree,
and I like the community that helps out without needing to put themselves on a pedestal to be like, I helped you. That just feels really weird.
Yeah.
They just like, I like the pedestal of like, well, I helped and that was good. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. Do what you can when you can. And I feel like that's where there's almost a weird like nature now in Pokemon Go that people are like craving that. And I feel it's also the mix with social media that they see that need. I think that's where, because like when I started playing Legend ZA, I immediately didn't like the main girl. Well, the main
it's Tawny /
Tawny. Yeah. I didn't like her because I was like, it feels very familiar in certain realms, and I was just like, because they're like impressing upon things on you, and I'm like, and my character's like, yo, can you like chill? And it was just
3
like,
steps back, please.
yeah, and I was like, I just got into town, and you're like, you have to do all this, and even the other characters, I think the fashion designer
Naveen,
was like, yeah, they're a bit much, but like they mean good, and I'm like, I've never enjoyed being in realms where people are impressing things upon you.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, yeah, like I find myself more just like, I'm in your group, but I'm not, because I'm just glad I got a place to stay. Like that was dope.
Yeah.
But like, that's more of this other person being like, I got you. And I'm like, thanks, bud. Like if I could, that's why I kind of wish Pokemon let you like gravitate and have different roles. I would love that in the future of it. But yeah, Tawny, I was just like, I'm not vibing with you at all.
I can see that.
It was like almost immediate. And I vibed with the character's reactions of like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was like, this is me, like for sure.
No, I would agree with that for sure. I think it's kind of interesting, but to your point, like it's kind of interesting, I just said that, but how a lot of things in like Legend ZA are applicable to how we've interacted with things, especially Pokemon Go in the real world, and then obviously that can be extrapolated past that. But like they captured some of that spirit really well in the game, and I think that's pretty funny.
They did, and I was like, and it showed how some of those are like very cookie cutter. Like it's not a unique thing that there's people that will press stuff upon you. There will be people who are like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people who are just like, I just want to. Like the other girls, like, yeah, I just want to like do my own thing and do this. I'm just playing. Bro. Yeah, I want to dance. Like fuck guys, I just want to dance.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt her. I was like, all right, like I feel that. And then I was like, yeah, I just want to do fashion. Like,
and the AZ's like, bro, I'm 9 foot tall. Get out of here.
I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah. Oh yeah, he is freakishly tall. I forgot.
He's always been freakishly tall because he's that size in X and Y.
Yeah, I never noticed until I saw him like hunch. I was like, if he's trained up, that's Slender Man. Like he's basically there. But no, like when it comes to the game, and we were talking about that on a more like socio like look at the game of like they're mad that Pokemon are in the city, but I'm like, but they're the locals. They were living there before you were, and
Pokemon been here, dude.
Pokemon been here. They've been through it, and you're coming into their realm, which made me kind of feel like, yeah, that's how I feel with people. How they deem transplants. I always hated that term.
Transplants.
They're just like, but folks move into like Colorado and they're trying to tell me what Colorado is.
Yeah.
I find it absolutely hilarious.
Or it's like, because like, sorry to go on this tangent. We just brought it up though. Because people will come to Colorado and they'll go do all the stuff, like all the hiking and all the mountain stuff. When most local Coloradoans that I know don't really do that. Like they'll do it on occasion. That's fun. Yeah. It's nice, but it's like it's not their thing. It's not they don't do it every weekend. They don't go out. I'm not trying to hike every 14 or every day.
I still loved my cousins in New York because they're like, yeah, you guys like have horses, right? I'm like, what?
I sure do. I got 3 of them out back.
Yeah, like I was on TikTok and someone was talking about, because they were talking about the dating scene about Love is Blind in Colorado and how I get in Denver and how like no one found like that's very representative. Like it's really not. Like it's representative of those people there, as it should, as every dating show should be. It's representative of the group that you had in the thing.
Yeah,
great. Don't sum that up for the whole city, please. Like we're not like that in that realm, and I think that should it should have to go without saying, but I will say it. But when it comes to like same with just the scene of Denver, I think Denver gets this unnecessary focus from a lot of movies. We're always seen as like the final destination of places, and like because we're the gateway to the Rockies, we're the place of transition, we're the place of safety in every epidemic apocalypse movie. The Stand,
because magically being a mile high above
yes,
sea level
it somehow saves you.
Makes it a safer city.
Yeah, it's so silly. But like, I feel like a lot of people come here to escape things, and people love it for its nature, which Colorado is beautiful.
Yeah.
But so is a lot of other states. I think each one has their unique beauty
For sure.
of folks who live there. Like, because I remember comparing sunsets with someone who's like, Alaskan sunsets are better. I was like, I still love my Colorado ones. But what makes the Alaskan one better? Well, they have the whole horizon of ice and other cool things.
Sometimes,
yeah,
all that kind of
they
stuff.
have northern lights. So I was like, okay, at the fair, that's a dope one.
That.
But then like we have the Rockies, and I just say that because I can see the Rockies.
Yeah.
But there's some parts of Colorado that the Rockies aren't as prominent.
Well, and some people love like a Texas sunset.
Yes.
It's very different, and
Yeah.
there's like a lot of uniquity and beauty in each.
Exactly.
area.
And to me, I'm very much like, just because I deem it this way doesn't mean I need to impress upon you that it's the best one.
It is.
We can each be like, I love the sunset. That's our commonality.
Just reminded me. I don't know how I got to this tangent.
What?
But it's like anytime we went to go get sushi, and Chris would be like, "Oh, fucking disgusting!" It's like, you can't
Gross.
impress upon me
Yeah.
that sushi is disgusting.
Gross.
Because it's not
It's
disgusting.
not.
It's
yeah.
wonderful.
It's well, and I like how that became like our steak. He'd be, ugh, gross. I'm like, ugh, gross indeed. We're gonna love it.
I'm gonna get so sick.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so nasty as I eat more of it. And that's where, again, I feel that's where for the people who jump back to the level 80 stuff, if you see someone that doesn't play the way you like, you have every ability in you to just not even respond to them.
Yeah.
You could just block that content if you don't want to see it. It's real easy.
Yeah, the Bethesda, the makers of like the Doom. So the newer Doom games came out, and they're pretty hard. And there was like one of the biggest critiques was like, "Oh, this game's way too hard. I don't understand." And then Bethesda's reply is literally, "You control the buttons you press."
Woo!
So it's like,
Put that on a shirt.
so it's like,
Accurate.
I love that one. You control the buttons you press, because that applies to everything. Like
It
I said,
does.
if you get upset about something and you have the opportunity or you have the onus that you can leave that situation or not have it affect you, maybe don't let it affect you.
And I was telling my roommate the other day too about just like events and doing stuff, because obviously we've been doing Pokemon events for years, years and years. Again, before Campfire, we've been hosting and helping out. Like, the community has seen many evolutions of things and leadership and whatnot.
For sure.
And again, I only consider Aurora. Like, I know people in our group have been pulled to many other areas. I've never really cared because I'm not in those realms.
Right.
Do I want them to have resources? Sure, but I'm not going to. I remember, like, the pins, for example. I remember when the pins were originally something that was happening, and I got interested in helping. The EV event is what got me into it. And then our person we had was like, "You take it over." And I was like,
I guess.
Like, I just really want to do it because I saw an opportunity. And then I remember someone had hit me up out of the blue of like, "Hey, I need you to give me 50 of this and then come to like go somewhere to the west.
Meet me in the back alley."
Yeah, meet me somewhere and give them to me." And I was like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "Well, I worked with so and so on pins before." I'm like, "That's great, but I'm not them."
That's between you and them.
Yeah, I was like that. They're like, "Well, they didn't mind bringing me pins into it." I was like, and that's again them. I'm not them. I was like, here's the design and here's the person they ordered from, so you could just order them yourself. They're like, but they always did it for me. And I'm like, again, that I call that like the change of the guard. Like, you can't expect everyone to do the same thing unless that was an agreed upon thing.
Right.
Like, I consider that like with contracting construction. There's people where it's like we had a process, and then when they would change, they just expected we could start new. I'm like, no, bitch, like, we had a whole process. You're new, yes, we'll get you integrated, but you're getting integrated into what's already here.
Correct.
Not you just being drop everything kind of deal. But with Pokemon, I feel like when it comes to like the changes here, there's some people that don't realize a lot of these people, local community leaders, ambassadors, whoever you may be, are volunteers.
Wait, Pokemon doesn't pay you?
Yeah, like again, like Silph Road is living proof of that. They were like, they should, I think, almost like a cautionary tale
Yeah.
of what can happen or what happens when you have not, I'm not going to say when you fly too close to the sun, but when you have a good working system and it faces time. Time eventually, every system is going to eventually fade. That's just point blank. I don't think anything, you can never beat time. Time will just keep going. And these things had great grassroots initial and had the drive, had the push. And then we had a crazy thing happen called a global epidemic that rocked everything.
Sure did.
It shook up all the things, all of them. Even our trip to Japan, that sucked. But with it, there's a lot of shifts, a lot of change, and some other things decided to come up, like Campfire. And other things are like, oh yeah, we're going to make these appearances, which is all fine and dandy. But then once Silph Road was like, hey, a lot of people are focusing on these other things now, we're going to have to shut down shop. That sucked.
It was pretty awful.
But those people I want to thank again, and I will always thank, because they did a lot of great things without being prompted. They did it because they loved the game and they enjoyed it. And I think that's what I think some people need to remember when folks, like I remember we were doing a raid thing and this kid came up and was like, well, we do it this way. And I just kind of looked at her like, okay, like, who are you? But they were trying to impress upon how another group they had joined had done things. And I was like, we're not that group. And the girl just looked at me and I was like, she was but a child, so I didn't really worry. I just kind of like, okay.
That's
but
us.
I see adults that do the same thing where they impress upon how they did in this other group and that must be how it's done. I'm like, no. It's just like going to another country. You can't expect to impress upon American values when you're not in America. It's just, you look foolish. And it's the same thing with Pokemon. Like if someone's taking their time and energy to host an event, you can ask if they can host in your area, but they have every right to also say no.
Right.
And I've had to do that. I remember Southwinds, I'd post stuff because very similar. Southwinds is still part of Aurora. Mm-hmm. They're just called Southwinds. They're just South Aurora. And I remember people like, well, why do you post in this Facebook? And I was like, because you're still Aurora. They're like, but you don't come here. I'm like, yeah, I don't, because that's far away from me. But Aurora's big, and if you happen to be in our neck of the woods, there's this event. They're like, well, you could come here. I'm like, I could, but I don't want to. Because again, I'm setting all this up at my own time. And it just, not to drag on, but it's interesting when, to me, if you want things to happen in your area, do the stuff then.
Yes.
Like, you have every ability as I do. I don't have any magical power. I am not secretly powered by Niantic and have resources at my fingertips like some folks do to host events and give away free things. This is all just coming as a person who enjoys playing Pokemon. And I think that's what people forget, and that they should also realize they have every ability to do as well. If you want there to be a fun event in your area, host it. Do something. You don't need someone else to run it for you. Maybe if you're shy, okay, work with people, see what's going on. But if folks are already hosting stuff and doing things, I would say, thank them every now and then. Like, I think that's always appreciated. But don't scold them for not doing some a certain way that you wanted, because again, they're not psychic and they can't predict your needs and wants unless you speak. And you do so in a nicer manner than just proclamations or whatever demands. Because I've had people demand stuff. I've had people try to like scold me for things. I'll listen, but because I'm educated enough to listen, and I can still make my choice from there. I don't have to hear it and be like, I must change everything now because of that. And that's where with like Pokemon, because there were some folks Richie had mentioned, like with ZA, and I kind of see with Niantic too, is like, how do you encourage the game to improve itself when people keep jumping into it and it hasn't done the things it said it was going to do?
Right.
And I was like, that's a great topic. I don't know. Other than just like collectively lessening your play. Because like some of the quality of life stuff that they could have done that they've like, yeah, these are great. I haven't exactly viewed as great. Like they revamped the Pokedex. I I never woke up in a cold sweat like the Pokedex. It didn't have the shinies. I'm like, no, I've never felt that way. Or some of the graphics are nice and smooth, but I didn't care about that. I wanted Mimikyu. I wanted an avatar that I could fully customize to something else. And there's some people that love the fashion realm.
Right.
Like with the level cap increase, most of the perks are just fashion items.
Yes.
So what?
And it's like tacky stuff too. Like,
yeah, well, I like the Tron suit. Like if they had I assume they had a crossover Tron's Ares or something for the Tron suit. Oh, that it just wasn't disclosed yet. That's what I'm still hoping to hear about. But I would love like a Tron Ares Pokemon. Like I see Pikachu in the suit. It'd be pretty sweet because I'm in the suit as a character. I guess that's what I'm working toward to achieve is my Tron suit.
Your Tron suit.
But sick. Like looking at the rewards, I'm like these aren't like super dope.
No.
And if they do the same thing, say whenever, because some people are like, well, level 100 will never happen. I'm like, that's what they said about 80. This is what they said about 50. I can never say never. But if they do this whole, we're going to take away the 71 to 80, like they did the 40 to 50
move the
quest and move it to 90, I'm going to lose my shit. It's like everyone's grinding, or everyone that cares is grinding these levels now. Like I've seen players come out from the grave, like good old Murphy Laws.
Yeah,
he has risen and he is doing well. Like he's actually ahead of me, and I was just like, "Bitch, it's been 5 years, and you're like back." And
yeah, I know he's insane.
Yeah, and I think it's great.
Side note: I was watching like one of the global challenges recently. It's like, I think it's great throws or something. I can't remember what it was.
Something insane.
But it was like, okay, and I'm like, usually I'm like okay on those boards. I don't play as much, but like I'll do pretty decently. And I'm usually expecting you to be kind of towards the top. We have a couple of our other like local players that like really grind this game out, and I always expect them to be towards the top. And I was like, okay, they're pretty high. And then Murphy Laws was literally like 1,300 compared to like your 200 at the time, compared to my 50. I was like, what is he doing?
Yes. And I think that's great. It's not to bash.
It was like, awesome, but
Murph, but like I was deeply impressed, and I don't want them to devalue those things, because that's what it kind of felt like. It felt like you grinded and did all that work, and then they just wiped it clean.
And so I would preface this by saying you should be prepared for them to do that, to piss you off in that regard, because essentially why I think they went to 80 is because they're leaving the space to do 81 to 90, and then they're going to do in a couple years 91 to 100, and that'll be a huge deal. And 81 to 90 is going to be its own series of quests that you're going to have to do. More
kilometers walked. More go battles.
Yeah, they're going to come up with, they're going to finally
it'll be terrestrializing. Yeah. When that shows up, you're going to have to terrestrialize and get into these things, and then you're going to have to do the blood oaths that they signed with Nintendo eventually at the end.
Correct. And then eventually Gen 10 is going to come out, whatever versions those will be, and there's going to be whatever the gimmick is in those games.
I can see that.
Yeah, so like what I'm saying though is like 71 to 80 is a designed grind. Yeah. They wiped out from 41 to 50 because they did this whole rebalancing and readjusting. But then once you get to 80, you'll be at the pinnacle. You'll be at the top for now. Yes. And then eventually,
for now,
Pokemon Go, Niantic, Scopely will be like, how do we get our players to keep playing, keep grinding? Because it is a commitment to grind to level 71, let alone 80, and like, not for nothing, most Pokemon Go players enjoy a challenge. Yeah. Like you're literally being told, do this. You can't.
Be better, scrub. And I'm
literally.
Like,
yeah.
How dare
so
you?
You see the mission in front of you. It's reminding you every time you hit a nice throw, and you're supposed to make 5,000 nice throws for whatever reason. Oh yeah. You're reminded, I need to fill this out because it turns on your endorphins. They're like,
endorphins
in your head, making dolphin noises.
Yes. It's all the dolphins are freaking out simultaneously.
It's like, you're an organized person. Like a good checklist, it's done. It's done. That feels so good to be like, it's fucking done. Yeah. So Pokemon Go is littered with that. That's the whole like progression series there. Oh yeah. So They're gonna do that shit. You're gonna get to 80. Now, to your point, if it's like, okay, now the next grind is 81 to 90, are they gonna delete the 71 to 80? Probably. But we'll see what happens. I don't. What I would say is I don't think they're going to do a whole revamp and adjustment again for each of the increases.
I don't imagine.
I think they're just going to increase. So eventually, we're going to see our first like 10,000 CP Pokemon that we can have.
I still remember when the game glitched that first month.
Yeah,
we were playing. I think it was at one of the parks near the house, like just west of Dragonfly Giraffe. And I think Cassandra was the one who experienced the issue. Her Charizard was like 999,999, and we were in a raid. I'm like, how is it God tier? And she's like, I don't know. And we're just battling, and it was really cool because I was like, it can go that high. Like I've never like. We should have took a screenshot of it. Yeah. Just I still want to do like a glitches showcase. That'd be kind of fun. At some point. I think that we could do that on the
defunct
Discord.
Features and glitches.
Yeah, the Missing Goes Paradise, or Missing Nose Paradise. If anyone knows who's Missing No is, like you're a real one.
Oh, I was gonna say you're eligible for AARP benefits.
Yes, you are. Actually, you can sign up for those. You don't have to be over 50. You just have to be over 18. Just so you're aware.
I'm just talking about senior citizen discounts, but okay.
Oh, you can still get them, sure. I feel old at heart. But no, like, in this whole quest for stuff, like, I'm just looking at the prizes. Like, you get extra postcards.
The postcards.
Some Nanabberries.
Cracking me up, dude.
You get a pair of pants. You get an increase in bag space, 25. Some incubators, some potions. A raid pass. I get a pose, and I get an extra incubator. I get some more bag space up. Cool. Enough that equals $4.
Oh, the one thing I did kind of like is the gift space.
Oh yeah, that they increased it?
Well, no, it's like as you're leveling up, you get more gift space too. So they increased it for now, and
that's
then also as you're, I mean, that, like I said, that's like
that should have been a quality of life
small thing, but like I do like that you can get those. They should still just give you an infinite incubator forever, an infinite super incubator if you get to 80. Honestly, like.
Oh yeah, in 79 you get the cyberpunk haircuts with the little bands, and then level 80 is when you get the cool Tron Jack and you get some more bag spaces for both Pokemon and that, and just more items. But that's why I'm like, take your time.
Yeah.
I'm like, pace this out. Like, very same way I'm doing with Pokemon ZA. Like, I'm doing the missions, but I'm not going to break my back doing them.
Right.
Because then it's just, someone put up a great GIF of it or a great meme that I thought was, like, accurate. It was the Finding Nemo when they're all in the little bags and they get to the ocean. I'm like, what now? That's level 80. Like, you just sit there, you're in this pinnacle realm, but there's nothing else there because nothing's been added for you.
Is that how it felt when you hit 50? Like, it was like, it's like a huge achievement. That was cool.
Yeah, like, I literally wrote it in my journal. Like, I put, like, I made a cool picture for it, and I was like, yes! But then
after, like, say a couple weeks after you hit 50.
Oh, I think I had, because it was done in what everyone calls, like, which every player for the most part is doing, is the legit way of just playing.
Yeah.
It felt nice for the fact, like, when people saw I was an instinct player at level 50, they're like, oh, shit. Like, it had, like, that still carries even now. Like, when they would see, they're like, oh, damn. Like, I've never seen an instinct player, for the most part. It's like, it's usually their first just comment.
In general.
They're like, you're like.
End of sentence. I've never seen an instinct
player.
They're
like, how do you exist is usually the first question. Cause
they're real?
They're like, yeah, I thought you guys were a myth. And I love that part because I'm like, yeah, thanks. And then once they see my level, they're like, holy crap, like, you play. I was like, yeah, I do. And it carries because they're like, yeah, you're at a high ass level. And then when I'm there, I don't walk into the group like, level 50, move. Like, I don't do that. I don't have the jack that says level 50. Right. My character is just fucking dancing the whole time. Like, that's literally my whole thing. Like, that's usually I get the comment on, and then they look at my level, and then they're like, oh, damn. Because they're like, oh, how do you get your player to dance? I'm like, oh, that was like an older an older graphic that I love that I kept.
Right.
And that also, I think, also showcases, I don't know if you'd want to call it my vintageness, but it's just like, because some of the, like the rainbow rocket shirt you don't see anymore.
Right.
Even I think it was like the Verizon face mask.
Yeah.
That's not even in the store anymore.
No.
So it's like some of my attributes of my character showcases my time in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's older and I just never felt like changing it. I've never cared about fashion to start with, and it showcases in my character.
Right.
And also my Mimikyu stuff. But like, I think it still carried weight. Now that there's so many people at level 70, I think it was a great remotivator for a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
I think in some ways it is cool. I just wish when they did it, level 50 didn't automatically take you to 80. Or take you to 70 like it is.
Right.
I wish it could have just been staggered a little bit more. Like, it has to be maybe 30 million above that is level 70.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been at level 50 for some time, okay, you could get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been a tad better and just kind of readjusted it that way. But I'm not hurt by it because the missions are still going to be there. Like, the thing that I loved that I immediately smiled at, that I was like, oh, that's how they're going to get them, is the platinum medals.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, because I've been talking about that for a while, I was like, I want them to really bring these concepts back, and they did.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, 50 platinum medals?
50 total platinum.
Ooh.
That's pretty.
Ooh. Because again, so many of these events have been really quick XP jumps, and people are like, I'm going to get 7 million. I'm like, that must be nice, like 7 million is good, but like, that doesn't get you those little Rattatas.
Right.
That doesn't get you those double XL magic harps. That doesn't get you like your time in the gym. It doesn't get you the burying the gym. Because there's even seasoned players that have been playing for as long as I have that are like, I haven't even got gold on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like shocked. I was like, I thought you got that already.
For like the berry,
like,
berry master and stuff?
For some of the different medals, I thought they were at platinum already. And they're like, no, I'm at gold. And I'm like, oh, baby girl, like that's going to take some time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can still do it. Again, it's just the daily grind. You can do a lot of stuff and that's why like I even told people before they did level cap, I'm like, I wasn't maxing out Pokemon because I was like, it's going to come back. And I was right. Well, I showed up with a fucking vengeance because it's like you have to do 2, then you have to do like 6. And I was like, people like, oh man, I know. I was like, that's why you grind.
Right. Any
Any of those Pokemon, as an easy tip, any of the community Pokemon, that's one. Just get it lucky so it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be an easy one because you usually get all the candy you need and then the 297 or 279, I think it's 297 XL candies you need to get it to the max. Easy. The ones that will be hard, which again, if you just pace yourself, you'll get there in due time, is where you have to level up. What was the mission? Because I'm on it right now.
Up to 73.
Yeah, like in 73's
That's
realm.
the legendaries, right?
No. So one was like I had to do 30 raids.
Okay.
And I liked it for this season because I was like, oh, I'll do Poltegeist, whatever, because I want a non-counterfeit one. So I did a lot of them. Thankfully, my work had several gyms right there.
Nice.
Just battling. And then I got it during Garatina's raid hour. So I was like, whoop, whoop. Like, hell yeah. But, like, level to 74, you have to level up a max move 20 times.
Right.
That's not horrible, but a max move can cost in regular non-event times like 600 energy.
Yeah.
You can do that once a day for 20 days for free. Don't spend money. I would never. I think that was my main thing, is I don't encourage people to spend money on something that the end result changes absolutely nothing.
Right.
Like, it'd be different if they're like, you get to this stage and then we're going to give you like $500. And I'd be like, here we motherfucking go. But it's not that. Or we get $500 worth of stuff. I would take that as an incentive. Like, that'd be a cool mile marker for the game. And they can feel free to use a Niantic or Scopely.
Right.
Is set like little missions. Like, if you can achieve this level by this time, we're going to give you a perk. I think that'd be great. Are they going to do that? I don't know, but it's definitely take it. I hold no royalties to that. I give that up right now. But I would love to see that because that is a reward for everybody. That's where for me, I could see the appeal of getting certain freebies, but at the end of the day, without those freebies, are you still going to be playing as hard?
Right.
If you're not, then you're not really playing. You're just getting freebies.
Mm-hmm.
The game's already freebies, so they're just giving you data on data, but you feel like you're getting more. It's a trick of the mind. But to me, it feels cool. You feel better, but it's just data. Now, if they're giving you actual stuff that has some sort of value in the game, then okay. And that's where, again, they could up their ante.
Agreed.
With it. That's why, when I looked at those prizes, I was like, those are nothing.
Yeah, they're pretty.
The fact, I had to do the 30 raid passes, and I got 1 raid pass back.
So you really only did 29 raids.
That's what I could tell myself. I'll use that math. I don't I know it's Pokemon Go math. Yeah, boy math, girl math. There's Pokemon Go math where you're and I've done that math for people too. If my hourly thing is this, and because I'll use that to justify me buying coins, but then when I compare it with my real life stuff of I want my fitness, my health, and my health budget is 200, and I spent $40 of that on this game, but I walked a total of 50 kilometers a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. It's not horrible. And it got me outside. It got me social. It got me enjoying nature. I don't view that as a bad expense compared to the $40 to earn in game would take 6+ months.
Yeah.
At 6+ months at 30 minutes each is way more than it cost to buy that if I was to work.
Agreed.
Because my hourly rate is $60. So I'll sacrifice a portion of my 1 hour workday and get that and save myself that return. But again, that's my Pokemon Go math. Not everyone needs to follow that.
Right.
But yeah, but that's where I feel the level of stuff is cool. I like the grind. I'm glad it's getting some people motivated. Other people that are using other people's successes as some sort of way to value yourself, you should reevaluate that for you. Mm-hmm. Because I think if it's putting you down, then it's not doing you good. Yeah, and take that as you will. I'm curious to see what they do for the GoWIld event because I feel like it's been awfully quiet, except for this new news that they have about events happening in your towns, and one's actually happening in Denver. Though the area, I'm kind of I immediately raised an eyebrow as soon as I heard Denver, and it wasn't Wash Park.
Yeah.
Just because, again, and being a Colorado native, and checking out that park on Google Maps, that square, McGregor Square.
McGregor Square, yeah. If you're in the Denver area.
I would if you decide to go, just some things to keep in mind is that there's not really a playground place for kids. There might be cool features because they've done stuff in Denver before. There's been stuff on 16th Street for Go Fest. So this isn't new that they've been to Denver. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but I think it's important to be mindful of the environment down there, and especially as we get into cooler temps. Parking is always a spicy topic for Denver, so just keep that in mind. You might want to get there earlier. You might even take the light rails potentially. I would highly encourage you to strategize if you're a younger kiddo. So if you're still, I think up through high school, I don't know if it's, I think kids could ride for free the zero fare
up to,
or is it middle school?
No, it's up to 19 years old.
Up to 19. So dope. So if you're you're a teen to younger, obviously if you're younger, please get your parents' consent. Don't just go down to Denver for the love of God. But if you're older, high school, and you know your safety, know your strategies, you might be able to take local transit for free, which is awesome. That area also, again, it's right near Coors Field.
Yep.
But don't feel pressured if you don't want to go to Denver. There's plenty of other local options to go play at. The GoWIld event is, again, just catching mighty Pokemon. Go where there's spawns are high, where Gigantama or max power spots are.
Yeah.
That event is also on a Sunday, and a lot of places in Denver aren't cool with people just coming in and using bathrooms. Mm-hmm. So another thing to keep in mind. wherever you are, because a lot of places just don't like people coming in and using their bathrooms. It's also just a courtesy thing too, like you just some random people just bombarding your bathrooms. Be respectful no matter where you go. I know we're looking forward to the GoWIld event. We're gonna be hosting a canned food drive at the Aurora Municipal Center on Saturday, the 15th of November. We'll have the table out from like 1 to noon, so just try to get there. It's obviously the event starts at like 10 and ends at like 6.
So 10 to noon?
Huh?
Wait, the table.
The table is going to be 12 to noon, 12 to 1.
12
Sorry.
Okay, so you said 1 to noon and my
You're
brain,
like, wait.
My brain's
reverse. Yeah.
Okay.
No, 12
so about
to
a
noon,
1 hour
apologies.
table.
Yeah,
from
1
noon
hour
to
table,
Okay.
like close to 2 because we'll have setup and take down and everything like that. But if you could bring, so obviously America is going through a pretty gnarly issue with this whole government shutdown, and it's going to be hard for some folks this holiday season when it comes to food. So if you could make a donation to help with non-perishable food items or canned foods, it'd be greatly appreciated. We'll have the box get there again on that Saturday, and we'll also, I'm going to talk to Heroes Pizzeria because they said they would work with us as well to have a little box at Heroes up through that point. And Heroes is also doing a coat drive. So if you have any gently used coats that you could donate for folks this winter season, because Colorado does get pretty nippy, it'd be greatly appreciated as well. And they have a box there at one of their entrances as well. So, but I'm looking forward to it because, again, we always like helping out the community any way we can.
For sure.
Our Discord, we try to post up some information. I might even try to find some more like cost-efficient recipes this season. I know me personally, I'm also trying to like be mindful of where I spend my buck. I encourage you to do the same. And again, and voting is also due November 4th.
Yes.
I think Election Day is November 5th.
It is voting season.
It is voting season, so please make sure you look at your local government stuff and get in your ballots if you're old enough to vote and you've registered and all that good stuff. We don't want anyone doing anything fraudulently. But yeah, please make sure your voice is heard and vote now. But yeah, like, and that's the other thing, I guess, with Pokemon that I do want to see, if we're ever going to see those community day ones, is you remember they had the voting for the obvious winner that was Rookity?
Yeah.
But if we're going to see Lechonk, and I forgot who the others were. Like I just know someone wanted the piggy, and I was like, and the pig's cute, Lechonk is cute. But I forgot who the other two were. But I thought those eventually had the community days later. I wonder if we're going to get that for the new year. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to look at least the month ahead, which we're coming up. Halloween is coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sad it's gone, but I've been loving all the horror. All the horror movies.
This is a good year for horror.
Yeah, dude. It's been fantastic. And then obviously for anime movies too, Demon Slayer was amazing.
Demon Slayer was great.
You need to see Chainsaw Man.
I do need to see it.
It was beautiful. It had a balance of a good story with great action.
Okay.
I think the build-up for it, there's a lot of folks who I think just don't appreciate a good build-up, a good foreplay when it comes to movies. And it definitely had that.
Well, and it's the whole arc. Like, so in the, I'm aware of the arc in the manga, and I've been excited to see it on the screen. So I definitely want to catch it. But, no, animation in general, because like Star Wars Visions Season 3 came out.
Did it?
And those have been amazing. And there's one episode in particular, I think it's just called Black. And the animation is otherworldly. It's so good.
Ooh.
But yeah, so no, there's been a lot of good stuff. We got Halloween coming up, and then this is the first step in we call it the Holy Trinity of holiday season.
Yes.
It's the second of the Burr months, which is always a great time.
It is.
And but yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure. Kind of interested. Did they announce the November Community Day?
No, but because the November Community Day is also like the last day of the month.
It's
like the
awkward
30th.
because it's like
it's after Thanksgiving.
We have the GoWIld event, and then we have Thanksgiving, and then it's the weekend after. So it's like right after Black Friday, right?
Oh yeah, and Black Friday is going to be black for me because I will be sleeping.
Correct.
I will not be going out. I encourage people to, again, be mindful of where you spend your money.
I will be in the floating dumpster that is Puerto Rico. So.
What? Why'd you call it a floating
Oh,
dumpster?
that was a joke because that's what
Is that
referred
what
to
Agent
as-
Orange said?
It was referred to as
that's not good.
on his campaign trail. Anyway,
Wow. No,
it was a dark joke, quote unquote.
Oh,
But
okay.
My point is, Puerto Rico's beautiful. I'm excited to be there.
Okay, I was getting defensive.
I will be on the beach, likely.
Yes, hell yes.
But anyway, so that
And for
exciting
those that don't
times moving
know,
forward.
Puerto Rico is part of America.
literally,
If you weren't aware,
yeah,
Yeah.
just like Guam.
crazy.
They are all Americans.
Yep, weird.
Anyway,
Figure we just for that social studies announcement.
just to get that cleared up real
Yeah,
quick. My wife was born in Puerto Rico. She is American.
Yes,
Her family,
there we go.
all Puerto Ricans, all American.
Yeah, crazy.
The getting back into the Pokemon Go event. So I'm curious to see like if it's going to be an afterthought community day.
I think it is. I can see that one being Lechonk.
Lechonk.
I can see that being
That'd be
Lechonk
kinda
because
sick.
it's like we just had food.
Just
Here's a food
feasted,
Pokemon.
Go walk your shit off.
Yeah, basically.
No, they have to make it an interesting Pokemon so you go walk off all the Thanksgiving.
Oh, see, that's considerate, which I don't consider.
Oh,
They're planning to be.
Oh, but it might be too cold to run an event, Jack.
No, we gotta brave those storms, baby. Brave them.
But
Go out there and get that cardio.
I don't think the formula will change, but who knows? December will be the makeup community days, which I'm looking forward to because I've missed a couple this year.
Yeah. I hope they do not change it. I hope they don't make stuff a bunch of raid exclusive things.
Gosh.
Please don't. For the love of Arceus, don't do that to us.
I'm really excited about the Wild event. I wish we could play in Nagasaki. Because it sounds like they're gonna get pretty cool stuff. They're doing this thing called like a Go Stamp rally.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what this whole Go Wild thing here is we'll explore.
Oh, kind of. Well, the Go Stamp rally is just for in person, and what it is like it's something that you and I have been clamoring for, and essentially it's go around like Nagasaki and find stamps like we did, like train stamps.
Yeah.
And like explore and learn about culture in that area.
And see, the beauty of that is like we could do that in Aurora.
You can.
We could just say like, don't go on that street. Don't go on that side of Colfax.
Definitely go to
where the light shines. Stay there.
Everything the light shines.
Is safe.
Is where you want to be.
Like, is that dark side by Central Park? Don't go there yet.
Do not go there.
Only when it's light out. Like, yeah, like little things like that I think would be fun. Maybe that's what we could do as a fun event for winter.
We could.
So, because we did do all the scavenger hunts in the previous years. I do miss the horror ones.
True.
Like I did that whole cryptid focused one. I think was cool.
Good. That was good.
And folks were exploring different parts of Colorado, but local.
We're gonna set up stations. We're gonna do a hot chocolate crawl. How about that?
That would be cool too. Maybe we just have to talk to local bars and be like, "There's gonna be a bunch of fucking nerds, but they're gonna come here and get stamps." They just make sure they buy like a signature thing from you that's like less than like $5.
We can do it. We'll figure it
out. Okay, fun randomness.
Okay, what you got for me?
What is one of your favorite Halloween memories?
Halloween memories?
Yeah.
Gee.
This is just a personal one.
I got a few of them.
And then also to then add to that, what would be a favorite Halloween Pokemon that you would have as like a buddy for that season?
Okay. So I'll start with the first bit. The one of my favorite Halloween memories was when Petra and the boys still lived in like near Anschutz.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before I knew you, unfortunately. But we were probably a little too old to go trick or treating, but we still did. And we canvassed the entire neighborhood. It didn't seem like a lot of kids were trick or treating and going through there. So basically every place we went to was just like, take it all. We don't care.
Oh hell yeah!
So we got back to the house with like trash bags full of candy, and we played a bunch of candy poker. And
excellent!
I completely swept the board with everybody. It was pretty good. And then we just played a shit ton of video games. I forgot what I was dressed as though. That's the problem. It's like this is Halloween. I was dressed up. But yeah, no, that was probably one of my bigger Halloween memories.
Amazing.
And then it was a great time. All the way too much fucking candy.
If you were to have a Pokemon,
but it was
during that time,
but it was in your neighborhood.
It was in my neck of the woods.
We were in your neighborhood. That's what I was like. Unfortunately, before I knew.
Right.
But then and then Pokemon during that season, Or
yeah, during
just in
that
general?
time, like if you were to say like Photoshop a Pokemon into that scene with you, that you'd be like, you'd be with me.
My
I can see
Pokemon?
that. Who would it be?
Oh man, this sucks because I have recency bias. I love Mega Chandelure. And Chandelure in general would be really cool for that. I'd probably still go with Zorua.
Okay.
Not Zoroark. Zoroark kind of freaked me out. But Zorua,
Yeah, that's a werewolf.
Zorua is cute enough to be like, it'd be with me.
Yeah.
We were very much into dogs and cats. Like that's when they had like,
All their pets.
oh my gosh, yeah, it was like 3 dogs at the house. I think at the time because it was like Clyde, Cricket, and I think Tiny. And then they had like 4 cats. There's way too many animals in that house, but we were obsessed with animals at the time.
Okay.
So I would pick Zorua there.
Okay. That's fair.
Because that's when I was just like foxes. I was transitioning when I was a child, like a young lad.
A wee lad.
My favorite animal, gecko.
That's a solid choice.
And then like I was like, I love geckos, but I really love foxes. And
Okay.
I started transitioning into foxes being my favorite animal. And then Zorua is kind of in that realm too. So
And they can change their shapes and colors and
not
things
worried
like
about
a
all
gecko.
that. But
Oh, okay.
I do like that connection.
Yeah, I was like,
I like that
it has
connection.
that. All right.
Okay.
Fair.
Here's my mirror reflection question back to you. Favorite Halloween? I was about to say Hollywood.
Halloween memory. I was like,
memory.
yes, many. No, for Halloween, I think one of my earliest memories I had was going to my neighbor's house.
Okay.
The people who owned the house before, like Ian and them, moved into that house.
Okay.
And the guy, he was dressed as Darth Vader.
Sick.
And he was also a very tall black man. And when he opened up that door, his head was pretty much touching the door top.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting that. So he just loomed out, and me and my brother were screaming because we weren't expecting it. And he had the voice down. We were freaking out.
That's sick.
I was terrified, and I was more terrified because he also had a dog named Cody that was a Rottweiler that was like bigger than us as well.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I always treated that dog as like a hellhound. So I think for my Pokemon, for defense, would have also been a Houndoom
Hell
to have fought Cody because I was so scared. And yeah, but my mom laughed at us because all we did was scream, and then he like took off his mask, and we were still screaming because he was just so big. But yeah, that was one of my favorite like
amazing.
earliest memories. I had a lot more obviously with all the homemade costumes and all,
Yeah,
and canvassing
for sure.
the neighborhoods. But that was one of my first earliest memories that I enjoyed. That I like telling that story. And yeah, I think Houndoom would have been perfect. Probably maybe would have been more of a Houndour, but like it would have been Houndoom. Would have force evolved to protect his owner, me, or his companion, because I would have been scared shitless.
I see Jack's in danger. I must evolve to protect him.
Yes,
like
that would have been a very epic evolution.
That would have been really good.
So
It happens. That's really cool. I like
Yes.
it. Well, thanks for sharing.
Well, all right, man. Well, any last remarks for the folks going into this beautiful next season?
One, it is starting to get cooler, so please just be careful. Eventually, allegedly, we're going to get our first snow in a few weeks, like mid-November. Right around when some of these events are going to start taking place. So just be cautious. And by that, I mean, like, if you're local in the area, whenever it starts getting snowy, people already don't drive well around here. But it gets worse.
It gets worse.
And so just be cautious. That's my biggest thing. And then on top of that, or not that necessarily, but related to this kind of whole episode, is try not to let the way other people are living their life or doing their things bother you as much. Mm-hmm. Just kind of focus on doing the best that you can for you and your family and loved ones and your friends. But like, just try not to let things bother you as much, because there's already so much negativity out there. You don't need that. Really. That's something I've tackled or had to deal with a lot, growing up. I was very envious being very poor, for a long time. I understand, when people get things and it doesn't feel great, for you when you're not getting it. So, just don't let it bother you. That'd be my number one. So please be safe as it gets colder. gets darker earlier now, even though we're doing this bullshit daylight savings time
Yes.
nonsense again this weekend. That's the other thing. Sunday, November 2nd,
Yep.
your clocks are rolling back an hour. I know your phones will automatically update, but in case you have other clocks.
If you wonder why it's dark, or why it will get darker, or why you might be doing raid hour in the dark, that's why.
Exactly. So, anyway, we have to, we're dealing with all that shit. So just keep that in mind, and then my 2 other points. How about you? Got anything for the people?
For me, I say just be mindful of your happiness. I know the other seasonal event that's happening that's already kind of in the way is the Day of the Dead stuff for Mexico. I'm actually trying to take more acknowledgement of that this year. I have my ofrenda upstairs and everything, and I have lots of pictures of loved ones passed, and I definitely think it's important to remember and keep good memories alive of folks. And I also know that this season is also a time for like the fall depression, because obviously with this sun and all that, and your shift to your circadian rhythm, it might throw you off. So I definitely encourage you amongst the darkness to kind of find some joy, make some time for that, even if it's a couple minutes. If you need to make an upbeat playlist, if you need to take a break from Pokemon, take a break from Pokemon. It's a-okay. Pokemon will always be there, as people, as we've said, people have been jumped back 5 years and are back. But that's a good break. I'm not saying you need to take a 5-year break, but like it's okay to put the phone down, let it charge, get time away from the screen. If you enjoy time with family, do that. If you don't enjoy time with family, take time out. It's okay. I say have some grace also when you do your stuff. Like, be gentle with yourself. I think a lot of people are their harshest critics. If you're going to be as hard about certain things you didn't do right, you need to be as hard about things you did right as well.
Agreed. So
keep that in mind. If you didn't do great on that book report, maybe reflect, like, at least I got that shit done.
Hell yeah.
Like Billy didn't. That's where you can joke and do that kind of stuff. But like, I think you just need to be graceful with that kind of stuff and applaud your successes as well. Don't just beat up on yourself if you didn't get certain things done in the right time. It's okay to have a moving goalpost as long as you know what that goal is. So, and again, be gentle with yourself.
Be gentle.
I think people are wild as it is, especially in this season. A lot of, like, with it getting darker, give your body some time to adjust.
Please.
Maybe have snacks on hand, have snacks on deck. I'm definitely a big snack advocate, and the same with the breakfast advocate as well.
Breakfast. I've been trying to force myself to eat breakfast.
Fuel your body, because your body is also doing marvelous things, and I feel like a lot of people underappreciate all the stuff your body can do and just put it through the meat grinder all the time.
For sure.
Like, I think back at high school drinking those like 3-liter gallon sodas in one sitting. My body was stressed.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but like, again, be gentle with yourself and all that, especially as the times change.
For sure. Also, real quick, you just reminded me. If you're in college and you're working towards a degree, it's wonderful to get A's. It's wonderful to have a high GPA. However, C's equal degrees in a lot of ways. Yeah. I have never once been asked about my GPA, despite it being very high. I've never once been asked to prove anything, even that I have a degree for architecture, which is kind of scary. However, all I'm trying to say is don't overpressure yourself with, like, you can hold yourself to high standards. I can't stop you doing that. Just don't overpressure yourself when it comes to those standards. You deserve the best. You know, treat yourself well. So,
yes.
All right. Well, with that, I ain't got nothing.
Yep, I'm all done.
All right. We love you. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.